The rumor is Demian Maia fought. There's now 7 inches of snow on the ground, and the World Series is rounding third on it might be headed to a Game 7. The sports world is upside down, which means it's time for Verbal Tap, the show that proves fighting way easier from outside the cage. Here, fresh off detective/comedy work, I'm your host, Kevin. With me, of course, Raph Esparza. Raph, how are you doing this evening?
I'm all right. I think my dog is currently playing soccer in the background. So,
Oh, is that what that is? Well, she's Frenchie, she's going to make some noise.
well, it's just more so surprising to me because she always knows when we're about to go live that she's like, okay, you're on air now, Dad. Okay.
Ooh, finally. Now it's time to get in there. There's a lot. We're going to get to multiple things about UFC 244, including if it's happening, an exclusive from Nate Diaz on just what he said to USADA, why The Rock is involved at all, which is always a question for smarter people. But before we get to UFC 244, Demian Maia, I guess, choked someone out.
Yes.
It was that clown from It's cousin with the curly hair. Big dude, Ben Askren, gets choked out. And this is not a normal thing. These two were fighting at like 2 a.m. U.S. time. I forget actually when I should go look. But did you actually see the fights, Raph? Were you watching real time or did you tune in after as most of us?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Okay. It was weeks ago. It feels like it was Saturday, I think, but it feels like weeks ago.
We've had so many things come up in the news that I don't remember watching it live per se, but I think I did watch the playback of it because I woke up in the morning. It was playing at 5 a.m. my time is when I think the card was going, and I go, you can watch, but I'm sleeping. And when I woke up to the eloquent news that Ben Askren had lost. Now, the best part about it is they said that he was put to sleep by Demian Maia, and that's a really generous description. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't particularly love Ben Askren. But I could say if he was out, Kev, it was for maybe a half second. So, no, it's not like it was the world's most embarrassing thing. He was quite with it right afterwards. But of course, he did the one tap where he's just kind of like, shit. And yes, it was awkward in the sense that Maia was more around the arteries in a way that was just awkwardly positioned. Yet if you're staring at it enough, you go, yeah, that would fucking hurt. Shit. So it was impressive for a number of reasons. Now the news is, Kev, and we can say this now that we've waited a couple days, Askren's saying to Ariel Helwani that he would be lying if he didn't admit that retirement is in his mind.
Good.
Yeah,
it should be. It's also on, people's minds after their third fresh loss. But this is a tough fight. Demian Maia is a tough fight for him. Gonna outskill him in the grappling world, and Ben Askren's definitely not used to that. But I'm not sure I would take it that personally. It's kind of, there's either the Tim Kennedy approach or there's the I'll fight until Bellator stops paying me approach. He just needs to pick one.
Yes, and he has already done Bellator, so he is good on that front. There was a weird moment in the striking exchange that I think the internet is now starting to catch, but it definitely caught me a little off guard. Now, I'm not saying Maia is the best striker in the world, and yeah, Askren seemed to land a little bit on him, but there was a couple moments when he was doing, and I don't know if you kids remember this, but there used to be a Wonder Woman TV show where in order to become Wonder Woman, she would have to spin in a circle with her arms out. It's not too dissimilar to the windmill approach that Ben Askren was using to land punches in some of these things. So if you haven't seen the fight, watch that. Tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not.
I don't think enough people have been using popular television shows from the 50s through 70s to accomplish fight moves.
I didn't
there's
either.
a
And
lot
maybe that's the secret. Maybe he and his team went home and felt confident. And they're like, does anybody remember Wonder Woman? No, let's do that shit.
It's not bad. Watch Bloodsport, see if people remember that splits move. It's basically
so
Anthony Pettis' career is what we're talking about.
for real.
Other fighters fought Sugar Ray. Wait, Stevie Ray. I don't know. S. Ray.
It was like Mark McGrath fought.
You might have. Dariush fought. Mays fought Gain. Salikov over Strapoli, which is a battle of the cooler sounding dessert last names.
Mm-hmm.
But Maia and Askren are they're the juice here.
That's really why
They're the
you're
main
paying
one.
attention. Yeah.
If you were in Singapore at the indoor stadium in Kai Lang. Raph, I'm going to have to put you on mute for this next segment because as great as UFC Fight Night Maia versus Askren was, UFC 244 is off to what you might call a rocky start. It was just canceled. If you were to believe the first post of one Nate Diaz, who was said that he popped positive for something in USADA. Dana was like, what? Nah, fight goes on. No problem. USADA's like, no, there's no problems. What's going on? Here now to comment on how he beat USADA somehow. The one, the only, Stockton's own Nate Diaz. Nate, this is unprecedented for someone that I assume uses LSD, shrooms, and I know uses marijuana. How were you able to somehow get past the USADA Gaming Commission?
A number against your pie. Pie. Yeah, bitch, first of all, they disrespected me because I got out there and I was like, what the fuck? You guys think I'm on drugs? I mean, I am, but the good ones. And, like, the hard part is, like, Kev, when you look at me, dog, like, do you think I'm on steroids?
No, I do not. You look like the kid in middle school that like hadn't hit puberty yet. Usually, like I mean, in a compliment, you're very trim.
Yo, I think that's mostly a compliment, but like I take you at your word of you don't think I use steroids. So imagine my fucking surprise when I fucking look around. USADA's like, you got shit in you, dog, and I was like, nah, dog, I don't. And then I was like, tell me what it is, and then they told me some bullshit that I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I would never put that in my body.
Never.
No. So I had a few things go through my head. I guess number one was USADA told me a possibility is that I smoke so much marijuana that like I'm actually creating new drugs in me, dog.
That checks out kind of a little bit. Sorry, that made me laugh a little too aggressively. Your mind might be a new drug, and if it is, I would take it. I want to be on the record.
I ain't selling that shit cheap either, bitch. Cause I'm gonna put that out. I'm gonna be like, you want a piece of my brain?
Your CBD's done great. I don't see why, Nate 101, the head drug, wouldn't do well.
So like what they did was they told me, dog, hey, we won't go public about it. And I was like, bitch, I will. And I did. And I put them on blast. And once I did that, I was like, you guys can't USADA me. I USADA you.
This is me spitballing, but I assume you know Judge Judy, that you two are friends. And this is the type of exact situation you would text her and be like, I need to come on. And I have a friend coming with me.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I know who the fuck Judge Judy is, so, like, don't talk to me like I'm a child, because I know who she the fuck is. Do you know how many of my friends have been on Judge Judy?
I assume a lot.
Like, all of them, dog.
Okay. I saw Nick on there once. I'm going to go back. I thought before
to be fair, I don't even know if he's been on because, like, I don't know what he's doing all the time. I don't know what he's doing right now. But let me tell you. Okay, so what I did was I said, all right, fine. Fuck you, USADA. Fuck you, Dana. Fuck you, Jorge Masvidal. Even though you're a fucking bad motherfucker and I have respect for you, but fuck you, man. So what I did was, you know that old saying, it's a lawyer one, where it's like only a fool has himself. No, I'm asking you, dog. Can you finish it for
I
me? 'Cause
don't know the
remember
saying
what it-
you're referencing. No.
No,
I'm
it's a
actually
fucking,
looking
it's
at
a real
Verbal
fucking
Tap
important
Legal.
one, dog.
He's
it's
yelling.
only a fool has themselves as something. Anyway,
Only a
yeah,
moron has a stoner for a client.
that's not
Am I
bad.
getting some of it right?
I'm pretty sure I said that once. So what it is, dog? Don't trip. I know you got a cold or you're smoking some good shit, but I was like, fine.
Yes.
I choose to represent myself. I went in there and I went in my total, like I put on like a half suit, and I just like I punched my hands together and I was like, Your Honor, this whole system's out of order and you're out of order and I'm out of water.
You just quoted Tom Cruise movies.
I mean, dog, I tore them a new fucking ream, and before you knew it, guess what? I told those bitches, I was like, I'm not gonna fight, and you better fucking apologize to me and clear my name, dog. And guess what they did?
Cleared your name, dog.
Yeah, don't say dog. It's
Sorry,
just
I
not
tried. It
what-
didn't feel. I was just trying to end it.
like when I do it,
didn't
I'm
feel
like,
right.
yo, dog, what's up?
Yeah.
When you do it, it's like, oh,
It's
yo,
condescending.
dog.
Yeah, it's
how
a
are you?
hard og. It's a way too aggressive og.
I put on a suit. I'm Kim Bill. I have conformed a noble society.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Do you like the layering of that voice though? Because like that's an impression
Was
of
pretty
you,
good.
and like I don't do impressions, you know.
I do know that about you. Well, Nate, I mean, Captain Unexpected here. If they had given me gambling odds, were you going to beat USADA? I would have taken 1,000 to 1 odds. You were not. So the fact that you came out on top, just another testament to your all natural plant based diet. Yeah, I've been watching Game Changers. I've been watching Game Changers on Netflix. Talks a lot about your diet. Nate Diaz, the one, the only. Will we see you fighting this Saturday against Masvidal?
1 second, dog. I'm just taking a rip off this bong right now. Oh shit, dog.
Sounds
Yeah.
like like a tentative hard yeah.
Yeah, dog. That's some good shit. Guess what? I just figure right now, like, well, I already beat USADA, so I'm just putting some cocaine in my system too, because I'm like, bitch, try and come at me now, bitches. I made you all my fucking little bitches. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll show up. They cleared my name.
Smoke weed every day. Verbal Tap fans, Nate Diaz.
Yo, I can't wait for The Rock to put that fucking fake ass belt on me, so that way I can tell all you motherfuckers I'm the real fucking bad motherfucker of whatever weight I'm supposed to be. So fuck y'all, smoke weed every day, and fuck you saw.
Nate Diaz. Also, probably going to be the Washington Redskins running back.
Shit,
this
not gonna
next
lie,
Sunday.
I missed the joke.
He's
Hold
back.
on,
He's
hold
back.
on. Let's go back. I had one more joke.
He's got one more joke.
The joke was this. Guess what? When USADA was like, hey, we found some traces in your system of some bullshit. You know what I told him?
What?
Hold up. Wait. We don't. Wait. Gotta keep it. That's episode.
It's like, is that job rule? No.
No, fuck. God damn it. I'm fucking out. Fuck that.
I'm upset. That's my bad. It's a
Fuck
fire
this.
festival
Fuck this. I'm out this podcast now, bitch.
Murder. All right. Verbal Tap fans, the one, the only Nate Diaz, who stopped by as part of his UFC 244 presser tour, we think, or he was just still accidentally on the phone from the last interview we did with him 3 months ago.
It's looking pretty likely I'm sticking around for the next one, too, next week, bitch.
We're just a Giuliani butt dial away from another guest, I'm being told by the producers in my ear. Look, this fight is probably going to happen. I'm going to bring Raph back on to give me what do you say? Masvidal versus Diaz. I'm going to go 75%. It's happening?
Yes. So after they cleared him, they said the fight was back on. Now, here's the way that I'm actually thinking it is happening. And you can tell me yes or no, because honestly, this is one of the first things I thought about when they said it was off. And it was a rough what, 24, 48 hours that we all thought, nah, shit. Well, there that goes. The first thing I thought of was, didn't they get The Rock to be involved in this? And honestly, I know it's hard to plan UFC dates and make venues available, but do you know how much harder it is to find time on The Rock's schedule? Like, I'm pretty sure, even though they moved an entire event from Vegas to Los Angeles or Los Angeles to Vegas for John Jones, I'm pretty sure if The Rock had called them and been like, hey, my schedule's available, they would have gone to wherever the fuck The Rock is. So lo and behold, today they said The Rock will be there. And Kev, here's the weird part. He's also going to join them for a press conference. And I read this today that he has an announcement that he thinks that the MMA community and fans will want to hear first. So that kind of talk has me a little spooked because, you know, some 15 years ago, The Rock admitted there was a moment where he thought, maybe I should fight UFC.
Fucking awesome. Sounds amazing, but I think he's going to announce, he's like, Mario Lopez is coming to the octagon.
Well, I don't know, but like, could you think about the fact that The Rock could just be a promoter? Like, I don't know what he has in mind, because I keep thinking he's not doing any more Fast and the Furious, because him and Vin Diesel have a fight. Oh, unless that's the fight. What if him and Vin Diesel are going to fight in the octagon?
I don't need to hear another word. No necks needed. Let the fight happen. But that is not going to be a fair fight.
Well, that's because USADA will actually give them steroids. It's going to be the reverse.
No, I was talking about because of Vin Diesel singing Instagram things, like where he does all of the. That's mostly what I was like. Nah, I don't like this fight for him.
He's always professed that he is a pretty decent fighter, or at least he likes the fights. And
cool, it's The Rock. It's like someone who's a solid man size larger than him.
But did you know that all of these actors in the Fast and the Furious franchise actually have it in writing that they will not lose in fight situations more than the other guys? So like The Rock and Vin Diesel have to make sure that it's like punch for punch, 50% down the line in the final cut.
Oh, gross. No, I didn't.
Nope.
Neither of them, I think, are cut out for MMA then.
No, but I mean, if it's not something to do with us, do you think The Rock's going to make an announcement? He's like producing a drama series about mixed martial arts.
Now you're talking.
I've
agreed to redo The Wrestler, but for MMA.
We're going to take.
It's called The Wrestler 2.
We're going to redo the script. It's a hard reboot of The Wrestler, but we're going to call it The Wrestler, The Grappler.
I'll be a diabetic fighter this year.
I mean,
Fighter
do you have
3.
any other ideas of what it could be, Kev? Because I'm too honed in that I feel my guesses could be wrong. But yours, like, you've watched all the Fast and the Furious. You might have some inclination of where The Rock may go in a field that I'm not as adept at.
I watched him murder the Baywatch franchise along with Zac Efron. It was such a simple show about saving people and life on the beach, and they turned it into some god-awful plot about drugs and aliens, it felt like. I might be mixing some genres. Here's what I definitely think it's going to be about. Based solely on knowing now that he gets to make an announcement, not prior to this. I think you've already hit it. If it's not a specific show, like I'm going to be, Chuck Norris in UFC 1, it's going to be definitely he's announcing now. He's going to join on and like replace Bruce Buffer. Maybe they'll do it in front of Bruce Buffer. That would be great. Fire him, live style.
Holy fuck. Is The Rock going to run for president here? Is that what he's been waiting for? They've been talking about it for years where they're like, they do this every once in a while, and that's what ends up goading people into politics. Trump. But when they say like, man, what if The Rock did run for president? And The Rock's probably doing all these movies, enjoying his lifestyle, and he's like, The Rock would never do anything close to being a politician, you guys. And then all of a sudden somebody says it long enough and he goes, The Rock's always thought about being a politician. It's like, no.
Well,
God
I think he
damn
would
it.
do it with someplace with more viewership, wouldn't he? Just to completely
Possibly.
shit on the UFC 244. I love Nate Diaz, but I'm not sure that's going to draw the way
I don't
they
know.
think it
Dude.
will.
Or maybe he's going to announce some sort of bridge announcement between Dana and Vince McMahon that we've all been waiting for. I don't know. I don't have any further idea, but I know it's going to be minorly big, meaning probably not like The Rock's teasing it a little too hard because it very well could be Friday. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been such fans.
I'm going to introduce you to my new movie, Flipper 8. I
But
revived
look,
the franchise.
Jumanji 2, yay! More Jumanji.
More Jumanji. I did love his reboot of Jumanji, just
It was
as a heads
great.
up. Not to shit on all of his reboots. That was a good one.
He did great. That made a lot of money.
It was Jack Black's interpretation of playing a 17-year-old girl playing Jack Black that was truly the
amazing.
art of the film, but
Yep. That's fair. That's fair.
Kevin Hart being a close second to someone who was supposed to have been a much larger human being. Let's get to the next fight. You know what? Let's not. No, let's get to the next fights. Kelvin Gastelum versus Darren Till. Gun to my head, these two have fought 5 times. Have they?
Yeah. No. But I mean, yeah.
Wasn't as excited about this fight as I'd hope. Stephen Thompson's fighting.
Mhm.
Luque. Again, this could be a good one. Definitely could be.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Lewis is fighting Ivanov, which I guess is a Russian version of Derek Lewis. I don't know. And Kevin Lee is back in the cage against Gillespie. Finally, an American fight. But this, like, they did appear to have stacked this. Arlovsky's on the undercard. Corey Anderson. They've got a ton of people in this fight.
Well, they know it's good money. And I mean, you seem to express some, not just, the actual word we're supposed to arrive at is fatigue, but you expressed some concern when for a split second Diaz was not going to be on here and you go, the whole card's terrible now. And I'm like, not really. But what were your feelings though if it had collapsed it? Would you just feel like it wouldn't be enough to main event a New York venue?
First of all, I still feel like it's going to get collapsed.
Ugh.
And yeah, Madison Square Garden is great, but you just had a fight with Demian Maia and Ben Askren Saturday, Friday morning, whenever it was. Could that fight not have, and that card is terrible, could that fight not have scooted over a week?
No,
And
because you
really
gotta
given
appease
Madison
the
Square Garden-
Singapore, the Asian audience, Kev, and the fact like you don't want to just give that to ONE FC because then what? You make Gary Tonin a star? No, stop that now.
Gary Tonin.
Send Ben Askren.
Not with that huge chunk of hair missing. Ben Askren versus Damian Maia. While I agree, a Singaporean dream come true might not be the card right before you have this huge event in Madison Square Garden. So to me, it's like, okay, Kelvin Gastelum versus Topher Joe. I don't know. Stephen Thompson versus Luque. All right. But that's the card's done by then. Derek Lewis is not very good anymore. Love the guy. He's not very good at fighting. His knees keep worrying us greatly. So I have some UFC ESPN fatigue. I think they're running it really aggressively into the ground and removing like what was fun with this being a little bit more of a sporadic event.
Okay, but are you not excited by Dana White confirming Khabib versus Tony is planned for early 2020?
Early 2020. We're not gonna
Yeah,
get
like I
planned
should-
by then. It's all going to be over. You think through December? I think not.
So that's the plan there. Israel Adesanya is apparently not going to get Paulo Costa to fight. So they're talking about him versus, oh, hello, yeah, me.
Yes, Yoel.
Yeah, me. I didn't expect to stay this long, but possibly, yes, me versus Easy.
That feels good, doesn't it? You're in to fight whoever. You don't give a shit.
Sometimes I don't even know who I fight. They just go,
there he is. And I go, okay.
Sometimes is it confusing, or is it always like you know what his shorts are gonna look like?
It's more confusing when they put a mirror in front of me and I go, oh no, I'm not ready for that.
No shit.
I have traumatic childhood.
You're yoked.
It's no good for me.
Well, you would be a great addition to this fight. You against Derek Lewis?
Am I on this one?
You are not. I can
Oh.
no. Hold on, I'll check the undercard, but I'm pretty sure you are not. Nope.
Oh, well, I'm ready to go if you want to do it, so fine.
100% are not invited. I wouldn't go.
All right, fine. You bitch and bitch about not good enough card. Yeah, here I is. Tell you,
You're ready to fight,
Phillips,
and I'm shitting
I
all over
do
it.
it now.
It's rude. I agree. I'm to blame here, but the UFC is going to call me unprofessional if I don't mention that you are coming off a recent win and have title contentions in your future. Verbal Tap fans, the one, the only soldier of God, Yoel Rivero.
I don't even remember if I won that one, but okay.
I don't actually either, but I feel like you did. You were a winner in my eyes. The way you fight. I'm
hold on.
actually on the
Yep, I'm
Yoel
back.
Rivero. I've come full circle, by the way. I think he
Thank
really
you.
deserves more credit, but I'm more out on the UFC than I was since before he joined the show. Just as
Fair
heads
enough.
up.
Kev. But there's other pressing issues we have to talk about. Did you know that Tito Ortiz and Alberto Del Rio will be putting up their respective UFC and WWE belts for their Combates Americas fight, which has nothing to do with either of those organizations?
How does this work? What are they just going to wrestle around? Like, what are actually the rules?
Have not been stated. I think there is a steel cage match. It's no DQ. Their managers are going to be banned from being ringside, but one of them is going to make it down. And it made me think, because I had put up there, I was like, so does this mean I have to put up the WWE BJJ belt too? And then I realized that's nonsensical, but it actually, in the week of BMF belt, it actually fits right in perfectly. Because I was like, oh, look at these guys. They're fighting over these belts. It's for not a real belt. Oh, right. The UFC's doing that this weekend too. And to all of you guys.
That's true. Nonsensical belts are kind of in.
Yeah. And to all of you guys who keep talking about this nonsensical thing, because a lot of these fighters are really bitchy about the BMF belt. They're like, oh, I want 165 as a weight division, but that BMF belt, that's such nonsense. Yeah, but The Rock's there to present it, which means it's already more credible than Bellator's belt.
That's true. He's
Especially
huge.
if the future president of the United States, a.k.a. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, presents a belt. I think it's going to carry a lot of weight.
There's a 94% chance of that belt will be polling in the Republican primary by the end of the event.
Yeah. I would have to consider voting for it, not going to lie. If it's one The Rock that presents it, I'd be like, I really like where it stands.
Well, I'll give you a chance to round up any more news stories before I kick us wholly out, because it's blizzarding here.
Yeah.
You're back on set. Go ahead.
Let me just ransom some of these at your way.
Yay!
Greg Hardy is going to replace Junior Dos Santos and now will co-main event UFC Moscow.
Oh, shit. Boy, he's going to be a hero in Moscow. I don't know why. I have no idea
not
why.
a fan on this one.
Her instincts are correct.
She's like, I love that my dog is taking a stand
Your dog's like, fuck
against domestic violence. She's like, I do not believe that man should be allowed to fight. And it's like, well, you're definitely my daughter. Okay. Conor McGregor claimed that he designed the BMF belt, and then he says he wants Masvidal versus Diaz winner.
He's the big loser in this Game Changers documentary. He's just eating cow and getting choked out.
John Jones asks Tony Ferguson if he was feeling suicidal in response to a call out. Later deleted and apologized for his tweet.
Why? I guess why did he later apologize and delete it? Did he send it while rear-ending a pregnant woman, or was it a different type? He just thought the words were too mean.
On this one, it's tough to say because I feel like we got two people who go, good. I'm glad he finally embraced his heel side. And I was like, first of all, it's not his first dance.
And he'll never embrace it. He'll deny it as soon as he'll go back to church and be like, I'll go pray on this.
But then also, don't forget this, Kev. Even though he was saying that he's sorry and he deleted it, for me, when you get somebody who's a heel, they do that. The first thing I think of is, oh, boo. Boo, he couldn't even be a good heel. He had to backtrack that seconds after doing it. It was like, oh, he's actually been suicidal. And John Jones goes, oh, shit. Wait, I knew that, but I'm pretending I didn't because I'm a heel.
I have a different opinion. I always measure it. What would a serial killer do? And would we let them get away with it? It was didn't murder those people and then deleted the tweet. It's what would be suspicious? John Jones is just such a sociopath. Just, this is what I meant. Oh, people didn't like that? Oh, I'll erase it. I'm so sorry. I've really learned, guys. It was immature of me.
Nevada State Athletic Commission inspector facing drug charges, Kevin.
Hot.
But
more power to him.
Don't you love the fact that of all the people, I just really appreciated the fact that there was a whole subsection of people who just were like, good, get him. And I go, good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. McGregor says he'll return to the octagon on January 18th, but has not announced an opponent. Just says he'll be fighting there. It was kind of weirdly put in a press conference where I guess he talked a little bit about one Khabib, and then I think somebody in the crowd threw a water bottle at him. It was a much more tired version of somebody throwing a shoe at President Bush all that time ago.
Less intense. Just a little bottle of agua. Well, I mean, maybe McGregor's not saying he's going to be fighting sanctioned UFC. He just knows there's going to be an old man that he wants to slap randomly in a cage on January 8th.
We are getting some notes because before it was they didn't really say who the opponent was, so it made me think, are they going to do it like a lottery? Oh shit, is that what The Rock's announcing? Because that would be dope. I'm into that. So I guess Donald Cerrone was kind of letting it slip that it's looking promising, and then of course Justin Gaethje was saying what a bullshit thing that would be if he didn't get the nod instead of Cerrone. To which I say, I don't care. Just one of you guys fight him. And you know what? Honestly, market-wise, I think Cerrone versus Conor McGregor makes way more fun sense.
I'm having more fun with that fight for sure. Let's give someone Conor could actually beat. Not to be too rude.
Because
I'm not sure that's a good fight for him against Justin Gaethje. It's you get beat by someone who's.
How do you explain to Justin Gaethje, this isn't because you've done anything wrong? It's just the opposite. You're too good right now.
Yeah, you should fight Khabib, someone you can keep it competitive with. But you're going to wrestle the shit out of Conor McGregor. It's not going to be good.
Yeah. However, I guess spoiling this fun ever so slightly was the fact that as soon as Conor announced January 18th UFC return date, Dana White said, not even fucking close.
Well, professionalism, Raph. They have professionalism in the organization. They're all on the same page. It's very simple.
So those are, I think, the major headlines. I'll just look over. Drew Dober's got a big fight coming up as well. Kat Zingano is going over to Bellator. Probably will actually make some money.
Colorado Zone.
And, Kev, I think that's going to clean us up. And I'm sure there's other shit to talk about right now. But I think that's all that's put to fit.
But I'm basically if Frozen were a documentary, that's my life right now outside, and you're running for fire. It's a fire and ice type situation, not great in terms of where we're at, but we still gave you 35 minutes of the greatest MMA show on the planet. It's been Verbal Tap. I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Good night and good fight.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...